Happy Wednesday, Cleveland Bulldogs. So, guess what? It is Earth Day today. One of my favorite days out of the year. But I truly believe Earth Day should really be celebrated every day. And there's so many different things that you guys can actually do to honor our Mother Earth. One of the ways I celebrate is that I take care of all my beautiful plants in my plant room. I have lots of succulents and cactuses, and I really love to see them grow. That's Beyonce right there. This is a philodendron. Ain't she pretty? One of the most important things you guys can really do is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. I live in a small apartment and they don't actually have a big recycling bin here. So I've actually made my own little bin, and I take all my cans and my papers and any cardboard or plastic, I put it in here, and then at the end of a couple weeks, I take this bin and I take it on over to my parents' or my sister's house and put it in their big bin to then have it hauled off. And another way that I like to save on plastic, because we really don't want to be using a whole lot of plastic, is when I go to the grocery store, I take my own reusable tote bag to put my groceries in. That's a great way for you guys to continue to help our planet. There's, of course, several other ways. Today, unfortunately, it is raining today, but my plan was actually going to be to wear some gloves and take a bag and walk around my neighborhood and pick up any trash or litter I saw on the ground. Of course, you can do that any other day that you are free to do so with your family. Another thing is just simply educating your friends and family when you know the importance of what you can do to better the planet. So letting them know and reminding them that they can recycle at home, and taking their own tote bag instead of using the plastic or paper bags at the store. So since it is raining outside, I'm not able to go out and collect leaves and sticks like I wanted to create a tree on paper. So instead, I thought we could take some items from our recycling bins or some things that you might have around the house to use. I'm going to use this paper towel roll. I've got some other scrap cardboard and an old magazine. I went ahead and went through the magazine and I found some items that are green that I can then cut into the shape of leaves to create my tree. I also have plastic I could maybe make something out of. I was thinking about making a Suncatcher. Remember, a Suncatcher is something that you can see through. It's transparent. So I could maybe draw an earth on this surface with some sharpies and then put it on my window so other people can see it. So let's get started. You're going to need a pair of scissors, and if you have a hole punch, we might use that, maybe even some string. You could use dental floss if you don't have string, some markers or sharpies, and a couple recycled items. So I'm going to start by making the tree. So let's pull you down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this paper towel roll and I'm going to cut it in half to make a tree trunk. So I like that it still has that curve to it. So I might even want to cut it down just a little bit. Maybe I can even make it a little zigzaggy on top. So there's my tree trunk. Then I found these green items from the magazine. I could even draw out the shape of the leaf I want first with my marker, or I can just go straight to the surface and just kind of do 2 curved lines that connect to make my leaf shape. Remember, leaves are considered organic shapes, so they aren't always the same on both sides if I put a line through it. So they never are expected to look perfect. Some are big, some are small. Right now, since we're entering springtime, a lot of our leaves that we see outside are starting to turn green. And there might still be some leaves that are brown as well. Or you might even see some yellow or red sporadically, but we normally see those kinds of leaves in the fall. Okay, moving on to maybe a different shade of green to kind of fill in the space. Now, if you guys have glue, you can go ahead and start gluing these leaves to a piece of paper if you'd like. Maybe you could even have some glued to the branch itself. Super fun. So I can kind of arrange it how I want to. Of course, if you don't have any old magazines to find colors in, then you can just use some white scrap paper. Maybe your parents have some old mail that has a white side on the other side. So you can draw out your own with whatever materials you have. Maybe even create the wrinkles and lines of the leaf. And then cut it out with your scissors. And add it into your tree. I actually really like that with the collage as well. Remember, collage is cutting images out of magazines to create a new image. So that's one of my favorite mediums to use. So I might actually make a couple more of these drawn ones to incorporate, and then I think I'll be finished. So I hope you guys give this a whirl with whatever materials you have, and have an awesome Earth Day. I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys, and then to make a sun catcher that you can attach to your window or have it hanging in front of it so you can see through it, you'll need some plastic. This is an old lettuce container. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a circle to make the earth. Got my little circle shape here. Then I can start with a black Sharpie and kind of just make the squiggly lines of the shapes of the North America and South America. Or somewhere in there. I can even add a little Oklahoma. There we are. Okay. And then remember the land, which you guys could look up a map. The land might have a little brown in it. If you have brown Sharpie. Here and there. And then some green. Let's try a different green. There we go. Kind of running out of ink. Let's see if I have green. Just fill it in on the plastic. Sweet Oklahoma. Maybe even leave some clear to represent like clouds. And then I need a blue for the ocean water. You can just color it in one direction if you want. Up and down motion. Nice blue water. So after we get it all colored in, if you have a hole punch, that would be helpful. Or you could simply just tape this in a window. Really, whatever you guys have on hand. Just taking my black again and kind of re-outlining that. So there's my little earth. You see it? So I have a hole punch, so I'm going to hole punch the top of it. Make sure it's not too close to the edge. You need two hands. Okay. Got that hole punched. And then I have some string. Like I said, if you don't have string, you could use floss or tape. Take my string, take it together to make a loop at the top, make sure it's even at the bottom. Take the loop here through the hole, grab the loop, then take the opposite end, which is 2 pieces of string. Take those 2 pieces through the loop, and then when you cinch it together, voila. So then you can dangle this in front of your window. I think it would be cute if you had a stick. You could even tie this to a stick and you could add some other pieces. Like you could draw out the symbol that represents recycling with the arrows. Or you could draw a tree, really anything you want to represent Earth Day. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you next time.